I'm a little late on getting this footage out, since this mall has already closed. In 2017, I did a video on this mall, but it wasn't very good quality, and it was still in the olden days of me trying to figure something out. Redundant, since I'm still figuring things out. But I did get an opportunity in 2023 to get a second take on this mall. So join me for one last walk around the Inlet Square Mall. As a latecomer to the region known as the Grand Strand, Inlet Square Mall would open its doors for the first time on March 14, 1990, under the development of CBL Properties, and would host the following anchors: Belk, JCPenney, and Kmart. The mall would even boast a movie theater, which would later on be expanded. While I couldn't find much on the mall itself, many stores hosted grand opening sales, while Belk in particular would host a 4-day ceremony packed with events and demonstrations to welcome shoppers into the new store. This was known as the Simply Grand opening. While they've experienced financial woes as of late, they were, and in some cases, still are a big deal in the South. The mall itself was situated due south of Myrtle Beach and near Murrells Inlet. Something of note in old satellite imagery of the place is that residential developments were scarce, as well as retail developments. In fact, it wouldn't really be until the mid-2000s when the area started to really grow and populate. And today, what was once forest and swamp is now middle-of-the-road housing and apartments. But despite that, the mall did enjoy a good start, and would even see Steinmart establish a junior anchor at the mall in 2001, followed by Books A Million in 2002. In 2005, a paper outlined the challenges that Inlet Square Mall was already being faced with. First being pointed out with different owners and management, General Growth Properties, whom was already managing the mall for years, was replaced by Marquette Realty Services, while the owners at the time were Oak Tree Capital based out of California. And at the time, the mall was 78% leased with 41 retailers. And further prying would reveal that the mall was now competing with Coastal Grand Mall further north near Myrtle Beach proper. Coastal Grand Mall will get its own video someday, as is its other victim, the Myrtle Beach Mall. Add on the big box boom happening at the time, and things were not looking bright for Inlet Square. Now, in October that year, a plan was revealed to update the mall and bring in a facelift, and these plans would be carried out starting in 2007. Originally, these plans called for a mixed-use center that would have traditional mall shopping and open-air shopping. However, work abruptly stopped at the end of that year, and the mall remained in a state of partially gutted limbo. The owners had run into financial issues, and in 2009, a new owner for the mall, Rate Partnership, based out of Philadelphia, was in. That is RAIT. This stalled renovation would be the thing that ultimately killed the Inlet Square Mall, as it wasn't complete until 2011. Long-standing tenants had closed their doors, deciding not to renew leases, while others, like an animal rescue known as WARM, or WARM, would be forced to vacate due to the renovations. It would be announced in 2010 that the renovations would be finished, leaving us with the mall that we have today. Many paint it for being bland and boring, and while I could kinda see the bland argument, I personally actually don't mind it. However, being left in a partially gutted state has left its scars in other ways. In 2010, Regal Cinemas closed their theater at the mall, though this would be replaced by Frank's Cinnabon and Grill, which was meant to be a catch-all entertainment hub, and this was seen as a welcome addition to the mall, breathing new life into it at the time. However, would Frank's be enough to save this mall? You already know the answer, but let me get there. Kmart was declining and their Inlet Square Mall location would close in 2014. While the mall did gain a Planet Fitness to fill inline space near Kmart, this wouldn't be enough to offset that tremendous loss. And in 2015, JCPenney announced that they were done at the Inlet Square Mall, as the mall would then get bought up by West C Street Holdings. Steinmart would also close its doors quietly that year. And remember Frank's Cinnabon? In 2016, the entertainment hub would suddenly close without warning. It was revealed that Frank's was falling behind on multiple lease payments and that RAIT was suing to accelerate payments. Eventually, the hub was closed after a mutual agreement was found between the mall owners and Frank's. This, however, would be devastating, not just to the mall, but many patrons who had come to enjoy Frank's. This leaves us with just Belk, Books A Million, and Planet Fitness, while inline tenants continued to dwindle. I remember a time when that Bath & Body Works was still open. It would later be revealed that Rate was lacking in expertise in mall operation and was starting to pocket rent money from tenants. And long story short, this led to a legal battle which would lead to West C Street Holdings taking over ownership. Tracking ownership on malls has never been pretty, and the legal issues behind Inlet Square Mall are particularly messy. I would encourage you to look it up yourself if you want everything in there. So a long story short, mid-May 2020 would see Books A Million leave the scene, which left just Belk and Planet Fitness as anchors for the mall, if you could call the latter an anchor. And in February 2023, while I was poking around, a new company by the name of Inlet Square Investments LLC would purchase the mall and the land it sat on for $6 million. And in October that year, they would announce plans to demolish roughly 75% of the mall, replacing it with a mixed-use center. Very original, very vague. And as these plans were finalized, the mall would officially close on January 15, 2024. And that is the story of Inlet Square Mall: competition, financial issues, and legal battles. And as we gaze upon the Inlet Square Mall for one last time, until next time, Myrtle Beach, this is Doomie Grunt wishing you and the Inlet Square Mall farewell.